Hi, welcome to my financial markets recap for the week. It's John here at ComhlaTech.com. Before we get to the news, quick update on the system, how we did this week. We didn't quite get the bottom of this recovery, but we did get a really big chunk of it. So it was great to see the last two days, trading days in particular were really terrific. So we managed to exit today at the close. Could be the high, there could be a little bit more left in this move, but it's probably going to be a swing high or very close to a high in this particular move. So great to get that particular trade. Congratulations to everyone that took advantage of that particular forecast. That was a great trade. So good job. So that was the system update. What was the news this week? Well, the S&P had really had its best trading day since March on Thursday because earnings season really kicked off in earnest. Key reports were really from the banking sector this week. We had Chase, which is America's biggest bank, beat its quarterly profit and released after and beat expectations after releasing $2.1 billion in reserves that had set aside for loan losses. So it wasn't quite as bad as everyone was expecting. And Goldman Sachs, as always, and Morgan Stanley absolutely smoked their estimates. Bank of America did very, very well too. Exceeded expectations. So the banking sector, which is obviously the backbone of the economy, is doing fantastically well through all the worries that's been put forward by people in general, right, as a group collective. So I think that seems to be the basis for the recovery, and to get out of these September, October blues the markets were in. I think the recovery is in earnest now. I think that was the bottom for this move into the end of the year. That's my expectation, and we will see some jumping around a little bit in November, then into a strong finish in December. That's my expectation for the rest of the year. The good news came out of the Wall Street Journal this week. They were talking about 36% of workers in major cities are now back in the office. So slowly but surely, the economy is getting back into high gear, and that's the highest amount since the pandemic started. So sounds like people are getting back to business, which is great, and long may it continue. And the other thing that came out this week was Starbucks actually turned 50 years old. I had no idea Starbucks was that old as a company, and I know it didn't start off as a coffee shop. It started off as a wholesaler, and I think Howard Schultz bought the company. He was a part of the management team. He bought the company in the 80s and took it forward. And there's now 33,000 Starbucks around the world, so obviously done tremendously well since then. But 50 years old, I didn't know the company was that old, so happy birthday Starbucks. The other thing that's come through is that energy costs are just absolutely skyrocketing right now. Did you know that the crude oil is now up 64% this year? And that is insane. Natural gases have doubled in 6 months. Coal prices have just hit a record, and heating oil is up 68% this year as we're heading into winter. The list goes on, right? The energy prices are just going nuts. This just cannot go on. What happened to green energy, sort of, people caring less about fossil fuels, therefore buying less of them, therefore the price should be coming down because there's more supply than demand? Apparently not so, because we're still using it because the prices are still climbing. So there's clearly a strong demand in that area still, and we all need to start looking for more renewable solutions, and sooner rather than later, because they can't keep this up. This is insane. I personally switched to geothermal a few years ago, and 5 years ago, thank goodness I did that, because we used to have an oil furnace and 2 oil furnaces, and that would have got really expensive. So if you're an oil furnace out there, I feel for you. That's tough. It is getting nuts. So that was really the main news this week. Very positive week towards the end of the week for the markets. Out of the doom and gloom, and it looks like a bottom. Certainly from the trends perspective, looks like the bottom's been put in for October. So we'll probably see it jumping in a little bit, and we'll look forward to our next forecast, which is coming up fairly soon. So that's it from me. It is the weekend. Time to down tools. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.